Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's Capsule Cast for the 2023 main season. I am your host, Destiny. With me, I have my co-host, Xmat. Say hello.
Hello.
And here we have two really special guests for this one. You know him, you love him. He's been here a few times. Say hello, Tosh.
What's up, everyone?
Yep. And first time appearing in a little bit. Welcome, coach of the now Boo Saga team, Doorguard.
Hello, YouTube! It's your boy. Subscribe to my OnlyFans. We got lots of bubble gum.
Yeah. But how's everyone's day going?
I'm here. I'm tired. I'm good.
I went on a date. It was raining outside.
I worked, and then I finished working, and now I'm here.
I see. I see.
Xmat fucked up my car.
Yeah,
so mean.
exactly. Well, sometimes
He
these
tends to
things
do that a
happen.
lot.
No, I don't.
Oh. Are you guys prepared to get into a really exciting week we have here?
Exciting? Maybe.
Yeah, I'm
Sure.
ready.
Yeah, because I know I'm not for this first one.
Oh, the first one's a doozy.
Let's
We can go ahead and just go all the way down to match 5 if you want.
no.
You're
Well,
skipping the most important
yeah.
one at 4 then, though. That's not fair.
Well, starting off, we have match 1 of Earth Defenders and Cinema, and I got my ass kicked. Let's just say that. I got my ass kicked. Not a favorable map, I will tell you that, for my team on Earth Defenders' home map. But hey, you know, Perlis, first time on Cinema team in the actual main season, doing 70k. You know, love to see it. He's in the top 10 currently. My God, this was a doozy. That's all I have to say. Anyone else?
Garlic living up to his namesake of being smelly. Like, you love to see it. You love to see it.
What?
Garlic.
Oh.
It smells. And Garlic stunk out the place, didn't he? So
Cullen getting real close to an elite. Keeping up with being a melee monster. So that's kind of always fun and scary to see. And I think, and he's not even on an attack build. His build is usually a defense +2, right?
Mhm.
I know he has serious stacks, but yeah. So whatever y'all doing, keep it up. Krillin really, really had it going for y'all.
What? No, he's not on tattoo build. What?
Krillin?
Oh no. Krillin?
Yeah, Krillin.
Sorry, it's
Turles, I'm guessing it's on an attack 2 build. Is that what?
I misheard Krillin and heard Turles. Okay.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah,
They
but
sound
no, yeah,
nothing like Destiny.
not to my ears.
Hearing
Yeah,
what he wants to hear.
yeah, Krillin's on defense too, to negate his negative. I'm assuming.
Yeah, I don't know. It was just one of those matches where, and we've talked about this before, and a lot of people have pointed it out, but Garlic is on a melee AI in a spam build, so while I know it's had, its moments and it's done stuff, that doesn't mean the AI isn't going to be absolutely, weird as all hell in a match, and that's what happened. And, yeah, I mean, Earth Defenders are Earth Defenders. They had a lot of good trades and loans, so you're going to have to deal with a lot of nonsense with their team. Pretty much everybody is.
A lot of shenanigans.
What I find crazy that you look at their team and you look who they've got out, and Krillin is their best. Like, you've got Vegeta there, you've got Mid Goku's been a beast in testing, and still Krillin, Mr. Consistent, is still their best. So it's crazy. But yeah.
Alright, well. Good, everyone's thoughts?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Props on Turles doing well, because he did do well, but
I still want to see you guys pull out EL. team's struggling. Defense 2 EL. Just look
Defense
at
2
like
EL
99% of the cast in the league. You need someone to start working better? Throw them on the classic.
Oh yeah, defense 2 is not moving, tell you that.
Hey, attack 1 EL works too.
I mean, EL. There's a missing part here.
Oh yeah, I can tell you right now, but I'm thinking about it, but gotta get giving it some time. But that let's get moving on to I think someone's favorite match here. Moving on to Hybrids versus Boo Saga, and you know what? Doorguard, I'll let you take this one away.
I mean, what do you mean take this one away? I did. I won. That was it.
You did more than win.
Thanks to the overkill damage rule, Kid Buu snuck in an elite because on a like 2,000 health Trunks he hit an 18,000 damage ult, and that bumped him up to elite. So he cheated his elite, but he did get an elite.
Did get one.
Hey, an elite is an elite, and there's no kill like overkill.
I mean, not gonna lie, I talked to Enemy after. Kid Gohan has had a lot of builds this off season, and that build was just kind of a rough one to throw in the pit.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it was unfortunate they put it up against Kid Goku, not a good one, or Kid Buu, definitely not a good one to have that happen. Yeah, I don't know. There's nothing else super crazy really happened outside of that. Everybody else did. Remember the stats? It's in my team chat.
Oh.
Everybody else did like 40k, and then Gohan Buu got.
Buu did 44, and Vegito did 39.
Yeah, but Vegito with a 1 bar and didn't need to tag, or at least didn't need to tag in Buhan. Tagged in Buhan, so he had a very bad damage week.
Oh,
But,
8,600. Damn.
I mean, he came in and he just hit a chocolate beam, and then the match ended. There was nothing else that happened. So
He actually ended the match as Buhan Han because he ate Ultimate Gohan again, so he's now Buhan.
yeah, had some
I
crazy
mean,
stuff.
on the
back
bright
there.
side, like it's not. Well, I try to say bright side. At least Future and Ultimate, yeah, they did their jobs, or they tried.
I think it was a little bit unfortunate for, obviously Kid Han and Trunks that they had to go against Kid Buu. Because we've seen Trunks do work, and Kid Han is always that more of a flip-flop character in my opinion. But, like, Kid Buu is just, he's been going on a tear since you guys have found this melee build for him.
I mean, it's just one of those hybrids are going to be very scary. I don't really know what's going on in the future. If as 3 of the people in here know from testing, he was on completely different builds for the last 2 months in testing than what he's had in the main league. And everybody else besides Kid Gohan has had their build settled. So hybrids are going to be doing some weird stuff. My team's just kind of been the same. As most people know, I pretty much only do the 1 builds the entire off season. So 2 elites is very strange. We'll see what happens with it. I don't
Especially
know.
for one of them being Majin Buu.
Yeah, that one was
It's one thing for Kid Buu, that I can see, but Majin Buu.
I mean, as was said earlier, elite's elite, and you finally got your elites after so long in the main season. So a round of applause.
We've been getting a
Round
lot
of
of
applause. Although hybrids could have prevented the elite if they just brought Guldo in for Kid Gohan. And then,
if I can just get like 6 more wins, then I can call the season over and done. I'll be in a pretty okay spot. Last year I think I had 3 or 4 wins in total, and one of them was to knock Cinema out of playoffs, but it wasn't really worth it at that point.
Yeah.
Needed the wins a little earlier, but yeah, we'll see. Hybrids, terrifying team. They didn't have Teen Gohan, so you could. That means that they saved their strongest lineup for this week against some poor team. That's not mine.
Yeah.
And they got their secret rapid Guldo in the back, so everyone should
Yeah,
be
you
scared
can
of
tell
that.
he's all over their banner.
Yeah. Guldo's he's waiting. He's waiting.
He's sitting there, he waiting.
He's waiting in the shadows to come out.
Hmm.
He'll come out one day.
Will he? Will he really? I don't think so.
He came out against you, and he did not that bad.
Yeah,
Douche.
yeah, preseason. Okay, and how bad did we win against Iris? That's the question.
Oh,
though.
it's androids. That makes more sense.
Goldo's fault. It was everyone else's.
They're playing home against androids. That's why they kept Teen out.
Okay, yeah, fair enough.
That makes sense.
Because
That
that's
makes
a
sense.
divisional.
Yes.
If that even means anything anymore, I guess we'll find out. It's all new this season, so it's kind of hard to say how important it is. It's still important, but in a different sense.
By a week.
Since we're starting to talk about other teams, shall we get moving on?
Androids got slapped, lol. 18's better than 17, lol. But then they won anyways.
Alright,
Also,
go.
somehow androids have 3 matches under their belt. Cheaters.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I put a 0 there. It somehow became a 1. I don't know. But yeah, here we have androids and RW, and yeah, it was really just already said 17 kind of got slapped around by 18, but I'm pretty sure it was Cyborg Talon Super 17 that came back, or was it like 16 just did
It
a
was pretty
really
much
impressive
so
showing?
16 got a lead, then RW pulled it back, and then Super 17 basically held it out.
Yeah. That makes sense.
I think 16 demolishing Marju was a big surprise to me, to be honest. I'm being
Not in particular, considering how Majub is. He doesn't have to be reliant on key and everything like that, but like when Door and like Scuddy and them had him on Fujins, his 2-bar was crazy strong and everything like that. And I feel like that was the main part of it. So if 16 was able to just stay in his face, I don't remember this match that much. I don't think I've seen the match, but like if 16 was able to stay in front of him the whole time, then that probably explains why he got demolished.
Yeah, it was
that is
basically
wild.
16 destroyed Majub, but didn't do too much after that. And then 18 was the only character that did over 50k. This is actually, from like Android's perspective, very chill match, because outside of 17 getting smashed, everybody did like 45k. So it was very, very simple match. It was very back and forth, which was nice because these first 2 weeks of the seasons have not had a lot of back and forth matches. But this one was one of the ones. And yeah, the second highest damage person on androids was Cyborg Tau, funny enough, but not by much. It was 47,000. The highest was 16 at 49,000. So it wasn't like a high pop-off week for anybody on androids. It was just that Android 18 popping off for RW allowed them to have like a chance to get back in it after Maju got smothered. But Tapion also kind of wasn't able to do much. He only did 25,000 on his blue list build. His Broken Glow key build.
Wait, what? Hold on.
Have you not seen what they've been putting on him?
No, I haven't.
It's like Fighting Spirit, Indignation, Light Body, Broken Glow, I think. Let me pull up the builds. It's only match 3, should be easy to get to. Yeah, Indignation, Fighting Spirit, Broken Glow, Savior. That's what they've been running on him. They found that when you make his 2-bar a 1-bar, and his 3-bar a 1.5 bar, and his ult only costing 2 bars, makes him use a lot of B2s a lot.
Huh.
The super minus is bad, but I mean, you know, more B2s is more B2s.
Yeah. It's the same as having a key +2, really. So, in terms of having the super minus, so I mean, there you go.
Well,
Interesting.
any more closing thoughts?
So basically, I mean, I guess for me, the fact I wouldn't say I was massively surprised that Marju necessarily lost against 16, but probably more what I was saying earlier is he got stomped, I guess. That was more the surprise, to elaborate on my point earlier. So that surprised me because Marjube is on an attack build as well, so it's not as though he's focused on that spam. That was a bit surprising, but I mean it's equally surprising that 18 beat out 17, so I guess the match was just full of surprises. Other than that, no, not really.
Large part of Majube's damage is mostly from his 2-bar.
Yeah.
But I guess with that, we shall get moving on. Match 4 here with Kaiju versus Cold Kingdom, and I'm be honest, I'm drawing a blank here. So Xmat, please go ahead.
Okay, so we had Tau versus Bardock to begin with. Tau, they were going even pretty much. And then Bardock tagged, Slug came in and pretty much just killed Tau. Then Jace came in and Jace said, no, I'm going to be the star of the show. Forget Cooler, forget Freezer, I'm the boy. And he just kind of just melted through people. I think he killed Slug, and I think he melted most of Scouter. Oh no, it was Scouter, yeah it was. And then Cooler came in, finished Scouter off, did most of Napper, and then did I misremember? No, I'm lying. Freezer came in and finished Scouter off, and then most of Napper. The Cooler came in and finished it all off at the end. So, basically, key point to take away from this is Jace is a beast. So is Freezer, but mainly just Jace. So,
I mean, big balls
Jace
to put
was
in General Tau against a team of characters that he can definitely struggle heavy against.
That's why he started. There was no point putting him in later because he could. Well, there's more chance of him going against an ape. If he starts, at least he has a high damage output before an ape comes out. So, yeah.
Yeah, Jace at least he did 79k, so just shy of 80. And Frieza did 58, so and at least Tao did his 40. Base Cooler attacked what you said early or something like that. So
yeah, he had
up his stats a bit.
Yeah, he had. I think he did. Now that I'm remembering, he came in because Bardock kept tagging in and out, and I think he came in and did some damage to Bardock, and then tagged out, and then came in and finished Napper off. So, yeah, Cooler kind of cooked himself basically, but everyone else, yeah, they did what they needed to do. So I was happy with that. I think Kaiju just got unlucky because
so they have Nappa and Bardock are like doing well every week. The problem is like, and I feel bad because it's not like Scouter isn't doing well, but he keeps seeming to come in at the end and he just has this like massive like amount of damage he has to do, and he's just not able to do it. And I don't think it's him doing bad, it's just like he's just kind of coming into a bad situation, so he's only doing like 25-30k. Still should be doing better, but I at least understand it. But yeah, like Slug and Majube have just, or not Majube, Oob, their free agent, have just been getting destroyed. And Nappa and Bardock are doing like 50k every week, but the rest are not doing better than 20k.
Slug, I definitely noticed in this match was he just got completely wasted instantly. He didn't really do much of anything. Everyone else on Kaiju, they at least always stuck around, or actually did some damage in Bardock and Nappa's cases. But Slug was literally on the field for what felt like 20 seconds. So yeah,
just. And now poor Kaiju has to fight my team this week, full of all characters that have one-touch break power body. So that's
or just B2's their way to victory.
Or yeah, their even Chocolate Beam works on apes, so
very, very unfortunate timing for Kaiju.
It's just not a good start for them. It's really not.
Meanwhile, Cold went off an 0-4 preseason again.
No,
1-3,
they went 1 and
1-3.
3. 1 and 3.
Maybe.
It was very close to 0-4 because we actually had 1 health pixel away from that, but it was 1-3. So
Point,
hey,
0.5, there you go. 0.5.
all this does is like prove my point. Preseason means nothing. So there you go.
I mean, it can set the bar.
Well, I guess with that, yeah, we get moving ahead.
Now let's go backwards.
Let's go back. I don't
So
think we
Kid
talked
Boo's forearms. We've been trying a new technique out.
Anyway, here we got Derp and Rugrats, and this was certainly a interesting match. Ginyu, I think, still doing decently well versus his opponent, but I think it just all went downhill for Derp. Because congratulations, Tosh and Rugrats, for the first double elite of the league, I'm pretty sure.
Yep.
And I don't even
And
know if it really
actual-
counts because it's
also
Gotenks, but still.
It is cheating.
No, it does. It is actually does count. Ryan counted it, so it's a double elite.
Yeah, I guess if they count,
Also,
if Satsun
it's-
counted it.
Also, it's Gotenks' first elite too. So
Yep. And there's a reason why I don't have Goten in the slide. There was no Goten.
nope, not at all. And no Aurelie either. Technically, really, Aurelie shouldn't be there.
Poor Ginyu did like near 60k, 58,000. Bro was going ham. It was like, oh, Derp really fighting this season because he was the starter too. So it's looking really bad for Rugrats. And then
Honestly, I was not expecting that because I'm like, okay, Soul Jr. has done decent, like, as a starter and everything like that. But Ginyu's melee just completely outdid Soul Jr. I think Soul Jr. only did like maybe 20k or just shy of 20k.
No idea what they've been feeding Ginyu, but ever since they put him at like the starter
Frogs.
position,
they've
maybe
been feeding him frogs.
Oh no, not frogs. But like they've been putting him at the starter position a lot, and he's been doing really well every time. It's just do they hope that the rest of the team can do either just as good or enough to finish the match?
Yeah.
Honestly, I would say this. I was actually expecting Bobbity to be benched against us. I wasn't sure, I guess, of their thought process with it, because yes, Gotenks has it's like a tradition at this point. We always use Gotenks against them. Funny enough, I actually wasn't planning on using Gotenks against them, but my team voted for it. So
It just seems like a curse at this point until Gotenks gets revenge on Hercule, or Hercule gets revenge on Gotenks. They both gotta be in versus each other.
And the one time that Derp won against the Fusion was when they had Jiro, and Jiro's not on the team. So, yeah, I don't know.
They could have had 19. They could have had secondary Jiro coming in.
I mean, Bobbity could have also done that too. He does like out key.
I think the biggest thing to note here is Hercule for weeks now does not seem to want to use his B2s very well. Like he's mostly been using his rush, and it's not been hitting, which has just turned into some very bad moments for them.
I think they've changed his AI because I think he's on Yajiro, but I don't think he was on that last season.
I thought he was still on TN.
He's been on TN.
I swear last week he was on Yajiro.
He might have been on it last week, but he was on TN this week. I think he did bad last week on Yaj, so they put him on TN this week, and then he didn't
week
exactly.
2, they had him on Yaj too.
There's only been 2 weeks.
So.
Yeah. But just really doubter character for him. Mostly he spams those present bombs.
Yeah, he was on Yajirobe this week. Yeah, I thought so.
And then Salza looked fine losing EL in testing, but now they're in this spot where they have really strong Ginyu. If you take that off him to help Salza, Or do you just hope that this is just a small thing with Salza? Because obviously, who knows what's going to happen to the Ginyu if you take off his EL now.
I do think that part of it with Salza is going against Gotenks. He doesn't have that, defense 5 Gotenks, to be specific. He doesn't have that damage output to actually even just keep up at all. Whereas I think that's where you want, like, the Hurt from seasons past to go up against Gotenks, because he can actually deal some damage. But Salza is not that guy, unfortunately. So
I think it's just the thing where you look back when they got 3rd place, and they put Salza on like a key +1 build, and just let him do a bunch of B2s and other interesting things. And I get why they're doing the tank build, because he's always been great on defense too, right? Like some characters just are very good with defense +2, and they have launches, so he still has the key buff. But I don't know, maybe they just need to commit into hard spam. It's a weird one. I can't tell him how to build, and obviously as a tester I got to see this build, and it did well in testing, but main league's always a different place. Not much else to say about they're just having a little bit of an awkward start. They've got some work to do, and Rugrats have made a character that have still that annoyance of, are they putting in Gotenks or not?
And then now it is, which Gotenks is it?
What? Oh, you mean offensive or defensive?
Yeah.
Yeah. I will say I'm just glad that I'm really tempted to just give Kid Trunks that defense +2 though, just 1 week without fusions, and just see how he runs it and everything, because just by himself before fusing, this is exactly what I wanted, and I was hoping that would happen when we tried it for I was about to say Kid Trunks, for a Goten last year when we were not running KSA at all. Kid Trunks is doing it right now, where he's doing 50-60k and everything, and then fusing, and then the fusion is doing well. So yeah, but that defense build is not something I was expecting from Kid Trunks to do extremely well on, but he's doing well so far. So
I mean, hey, not knowing if he did this well and then ends up doing an elite's always a good thing, even if it's annoying.
Yep, his first elite, Gotenks' first elite, such a good week, double elite. Yeah. And I think I actually said this in the last Capsule cast, that I wanted a double elite, and it happened. There we go.
Oh,
Post the prophet.
Now can you just get your other members to wake up? There you go.
Really, it's just yeah.
What if we take the health bar from Cell Jr. and move it over there?
Yay.
I just need a
Can I just place on the record that now that Tosh has said that he's the prophet, and he's gonna predict the future, Tosh, can you wish that my team gets an elite?
That's not how prophets work.
That's how it works. See, that's how he did it though. How he did last
just
time.
Explain what a prophet is, then said something else.
Yeah.
It's a new age prophet.
My Shikai lets me freeze water. Tosh, I need you to melt this ice cube.
It's a new age prophet. It's a new age prophet. Okay.
Anyway,
I really just need Aurelie. I'm glad with how it went, but Aurelie needs to pick it up when she actually comes in, and then hopefully GT Goku. That was default AI last week or week 1. So I'm hoping that he wakes up, in the next week. So
I mean, wasn't he also against Cell?
He was against Cell, yes, but outside of Cell, it was just okay, Trunks AI, he was doing well, and then all of a sudden it was just yeah, let's switch him to. I told my team, I was let's switch to default AI. Let's just see how it keeps up. And it was, even though it's 1 week only, I get that. That was horrible. So I'm hoping what you said comes true, that the rest of my team just wakes up. So, but I'm good to move on if y'all are.
Yeah, I'm ready to move on. So,
Yep.
So Cell Jr.
Alright.
Oh, so 3 elites. Now we got what?
Another elite
coming. We have 4 elites this week.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Have we already got more elites this season than last season?
I think we've
I
tied
know.
last season.
Yeah, I
if
think
we
we've
get any
tied
more,
last
though.
season. I definitely say this week alone is more elites than Vegeta got. But well, I guess with that, moving on to Sentai Squad and Namek, and I guess already been spoiled. Whatever. Congratulations, Sentai, on their technically second Jiren Elite. First one in the actual main season, though. And congratulations, Namek, for the first time ever getting a 0 damage character.
The Fodder Award, as being called, I think.
The Potter Award.
Name probably still in development. Who knows? But
He's elite in other ways.
But yeah, really this match started not in a way that I was expecting, because it was Late Piccolo versus Saiyaman, and Saiyaman was really bringing it to Late Piccolo. But yeah, after that, Nail came in and killed Saiyaman. Jiren came in, killed the rest of them.
Well, the thing is, like, if you looked at the stats,
Yeah.
basically, if Nuova just did anything, Namek would not have looked as bad as they did. But because he did 0, it looked bad. Because you have like a 40k King Piccolo performance and a 60k Late Piccolo, and Nail did 30k. So like right there, all they needed was like a 40 to 50 from Nuova, and the match is like down to a bar difference. It's just one of those things that because Jiren came in and just hit so many B2s against him and melted him instantly, the match looked much more like a wash than it would have been, because on Sentai's squad, Sailwoman and Android 21 were not doing that hot this match. It was mostly off the back of Saiyaman, who, despite doing well, only did 40k, and Jiren, who did his 107,000. So it's not to say Sentai did bad, don't get me wrong, it was just one of those, if Nuova didn't do the weirdest thing ever of literally nothing,
he didn't even launch like a
could have gone way different.
He didn't even launch like a B2 or anything, which he usually does at least one of.
And he's on a B2 build, keep that in mind. He was meant to do B2s. He had Super Plus and such.
Yeah. No, I guess that could also go to show the power of Jiren just hitting... How many ults did he fire this week?
I think it was 3?
2, 3?
3.
And
I
then...
think it's 2 actually, because he got up to
He
max
hit
power.
3 out of 3, according to the stats.
And then what is it? Just the constant B2s. He's been really loving he's been really loving landing his rush, and then the just power impact into power impact into power impact.
Keep in mind though that he only did like 16,000 last week, so this was, while the elite's impressive, he basically just averaged out his stats because of how bad he almost pulled a Nuova last week. I think he did 1 B2. He hit like 1 or 2. He threw 2 B2s, I think. Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
And that was like it. And otherwise, like, he didn't do anything last week. So it's one of those, he barely saved himself from having like bottom tier stats. If he had just done 40k this week, he would still have like a 30k average.
But because he did
was
elite status, basically.
Yeah,
I was pretty
kind of
wrong, because I did say he could be the new Deborah, but it's not happened. So.
Well, yeah, now you jinxed it.
You jinxed
After last week, I thought, oh
No,
my god.
No. Now we just have to say is Deborah the new Jiren. There you go. Then he gets elite.
Deborah could do that. It's possible, but Jiren's just on another level right now.
Yeah, honestly, like even for Jiren's elite, I don't think anyone was still thinking Namek was out of it, because even though it was King Piccolo versus Saiyaman and 21, he was still looking fine for a while there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really, Namek's got some good stuff going. I'm always a hype man for Nail. I think Nail is just a really cool character. Has a really interesting kit in this game, and I really hope he's able to kind of find his place. Obviously, King Piccolo, we all know, can be incredibly strong. He's had elites before, and Nail and Nuova are Nail and Nuova. So what do you say about that? And then Tambourine came back after a great season at Royals. So they have a lot going for them. And they have, and Tambourine's free agent benched because they have Pycon, who's also obviously incredibly strong. So
well, at least as of right now, has been showing that he is really worthy of that, being a top 3 FA.
Yeah, and obviously Sentai, since getting Jiren, have been quite strong, and have a lot of other stuff they got going for him. Birder, with those buffs, has turned into a very obnoxious to deal with character.
They seem to have fixed Saiyaman last season. He's just been performing since.
And obviously, we know that Jace is very powerful, so he was good last season. When he comes back next season, that's going to help their team, but they have Raccoon, even though he's free agent benched, who has been on a pretty decent run. So both these have a lot of power in them. I think only Saiyawoman's the only character that I would say is not expected to do a lot, because I mean she's on a defense 3 build, just like I would say with Majin Buu. He's not expected to do a lot. So when he does, and when she does, it's impressive. It's just they're designed to last and deal their 40k every week kind of deal. So we'll see. There's a lot of interest that can go on, and Namic's a team that loves to change builds, so
yeah.
Very, very true.
Namic. Oh, sorry. What were you going to say, Tosh?
I just said very, very true.
That's very true. Yeah. Yeah. I think Namek just needs to piece things together because they have got really good kits and really good characters. So
it's really just Nuova. If they fix Nuova.
Yeah. Nuova, it's scary though because Nuova was at in the old league that he had to be nerfed at a point because he was that powerful. So there is a character there that is powerful. They just need to, I don't know. Maybe it's just sorting out how much ki he has and stuff like that. I don't know, but so yeah,
it's gonna be something.
We ready to move on?
I am.
Are you?
Yeah.
Yeah, mostly, yeah. So we are moving on to Budokai versus Muscle, and honestly, really just good on. I will just say this all the time. Good on them for making early Piccolo do really good. But I'm wondering what's going on the field of Muscle over there, because not all their characters been hidden. So.
I mean, it's really just one.
Broly.
Yeah.
Andrew 13, strong week. King Cold still pulling his weight. Bojack is somebody they know can be very low bar sometimes, but Broly struggling as hard as he has been is the real strangeness. So we might see a return to Kakarot Broly, because they've done Melee Broly twice now, and he has not done well either time. Yeah, that is taking nothing away from Budokai, who obviously early Piccolo, 80,000, incredible week, really pulling his worth. And 60k from early Goku, and then Supreme Kai doing about 30, and Goku just having to hit the one thing for 11. But otherwise, yeah, I mean, that was the early show right there. Budokai, early Goku, early Piccolo, really pulling more than their weight. It's just Broly. Because everybody else on Muscle's doing what they're supposed to be, but Broly for the second week now, I think, just did absolute minimal. Yeah, less than 20k both weeks. Just rough.
If I remember correctly, he looked rough in pre-season as well, so it's not like it's just a main thing. So, yeah, I think that it might be they just go back to Kakarot Broly spam, yeah.
Or Tank, or anything.
I mean, we'll also have to see how Trunks also goes, because he's only been in for 1 week.
And he's in super form.
Yeah. He only did 28k his first week. He comes back in this week. So outside of that, it's just trying to see, like you said, seeing how everyone else does. I feel like.
Certainly, but as Dor said, not anything against Budokai. I guess they just figured out the members, and the person they have as their FA we already know is a really good FA, and he's coming back in next week.
Yeah. I think Budokai just their testing ended up being on point. Like I think every one of their characters is just figured out. Like,
well, they also got some buffs, right? And Goku's in Super Saiyan 2, so
yeah,
that's helped a lot. And then yeah, they made Supreme Kai pick something out, and they have a demonic bargain build doing good. I think the early Goku build's boring as hell, but it is what it is.
Yeah,
it works. So
it works. Yeah.
Sometimes boring is the thing that works best.
Boring is effective.
But
and, maybe that's what Muscle will probably end up finding out, because I think that's what they're going to do with Broly, but we'll see.
But yeah, Muscle. It really is nothing to knock on Muscle for, though. It's just one of the characters not really working, but we know Muscle as a team has done really well in the past and can certainly come back. So,
We all know that Muscle.
13's been popping off each week, so they still are a major threat.
We all know
Very, very
notoriously they struggle in the main season anyway, so as long as they can actually make it through to playoffs, they'll usually do alright.
Yeah, they can turn things around pretty quick late in the season.
Yeah. Okay.
we good to move.
Yeah.
Let's move.
Sometimes.
Alright. Well, we're about to move on to this match here, which pretty sure is the one I lost count.
8. Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So here we have GT and Royals, and I'm pretty sure this was actually a fairly, at least near the start, a very even match.
Yeah.
But it just started going into, I think, into more of Royals' favor near the end.
Yeah, it did. Basically, Metacooler versus Jiro equals bad. And that's
Apparently,
what
baby versus baby equals bad.
happened.
You would think that the upgraded baby would actually, take it, but no.
I mean, to be
that's
fair,
not it.
GT's baby did do 40k. It's not like he didn't do his damage this week. It's just the free agent baby did way more. He did 70k.
Yeah. Master Roshi tried as well. He did try. He put in the effort.
Oh.
He just went up against an ape, which is not good in any way.
Not always the best scenario for Master Roshi.
No.
I mean, not to knock either team though. GT this week had Sin out, which we know is one of their better members, and Royals this week had Majin Vegeta out. So
Yeah, which is scary because that means I have to go against him next week. I knew I would anyway, but it all confirms it. So
don't worry, just
good.
blow him up.
That's true, actually. Just blow him up. That's a very wise bit of
But yeah.
inspiration, destiny.
But I mean, again, not to knock either team. We know this could have just been a off week for Baby, fighting against himself.
Maybe.
And we know that Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta has been, looking up since I think they've changed him a little bit.
Yeah.
And Deborah did 40k. He's still not doing bad. Not as maybe high as he has done, but
he's
can't
not
argue with results.
He's not doing 20 or less.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Can't argue with results and
No. Just give it some time. Just give it some time. He'll probably fall off eventually.
Coach is praying for his downfall. No.
No, I said he'll probably. No, I'm not praying for his downfall. I can see it. I feel it coming.
it's going to happen at some point, but it's
He does it every season.
and honestly, I think they really just got unlucky with who got matched up against what, because we know Jiro can do stuff, but he went against he went against the one Android character that Royals has. So, well, that's not on the FA bench.
Yeah, I mean, stat-wise, GT did fine this week.
Yeah.
If you looked at what their characters did, it just came down to nobody, like, people did not pop off enough. Like, Roshi did 60k, funny enough. It just didn't seem like it.
Yeah.
And it's just, yeah. They needed Baby to really pull more than a basic average, and he wasn't able to, and same with Vegeta. 40k is good, but in this league, you got to do about 50 to kill a lot of people with all the healing and defense and just other nonsense.
Again, if it was King Vegeta or Baby that came in against Shiro, I feel like his damage would have been up, so then there would have been less on the team. But because he can't really do much against an android, it kind of makes it so the rest of the team has to do more. So it's just one of those. Yeah.
Certainly a lot going on. Yeah.
So, with that, shall we get to moving on? Well, I put this in. Here we have our 2 tier lists for made by Fiora, Derp's coach, for week 1 and 2.
It's slightly inaccurate, as we know Kid Buu and Jiren both went elite, and neither are put in an elite mark here, but
it's done without like overkill stats.
Yeah.
So this is basically what everyone would have done without overkill.
By the way, Frieza Soldier, for people that don't know, is Jiren.
Yeah. And someone else.
And General Blue
Is for 21.
21.
So yeah, the people that got elites are not.
So yeah, you know, we all have a character in one of the top 3 spots for week 2. Or yeah, one of the top 3 rows. There you go.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, definitely a weirder season. Usually it's more like a bell curve, where it's like there are people low, then it hits the peak in the middle, and then it goes off. But this season started off with a lot more people in this, and specifically this one higher. Now it is a little kind of messy because all the bottom rows are about a 5k difference, and then 70 to 95 is all together. So it looks always like a bigger row, but that's just because it'd be too long of a list to have them all separated out. But
yeah,
just something to keep in mind.
Looking at between week 1 and 2, I can certainly see some characters have not really done, or doing like a round where you think be like 18, then is in the third one 70 to 95k, and in the second one she's in the 55 to 60k range. So not really like the biggest damage curve of all time. Deborah hanging around like the 40 to 50k range.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think for me, just the fact that like what you were saying, Door, with like you've got a lot of people up the high end more than what you usually expect. Having 6 people in that 70 to 95k both weeks, that seems a bit strange. Usually, I think it's maybe 3, and then you have more people in the 60k area. But it seems a lot of people are hitting high averages at the start of this season. So I mean, that's interesting.
A lot of people are just hitting their stride. A lot of people are doing better with all the changes. But just with that, shall we get moving on to predictions?
I think we should.
Alright. Well, here we have our predictions for week 3. And starting off, we have Budokai and Derp. So, I'm going to say I think Budokai will win this, and not to say like Derp's bad or anything, but I think Derp's, like, their 2 main characters you think of, Salza and Hercule, are just not as been performing as much. So yeah,
and we know what is it? We know Dodoria's coming back in, and Adult Gohan, not Ultimate. Adult Gohan's coming back in for Budokai.
I will probably have to give it to Budokai myself. Mainly because Adult is in there and Herc isn't working with his spam and everything like that. So they have Budokai definitely has the melee and the spam on their side that can take Derp out if they really pop off.
Screw it.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Screw it. Last week I said, well, I backed Budokai against Muscle, and you guys didn't believe me. You thought it wasn't going to happen, but this time I'm gonna go with Derp. I think that they'll fix Herc. I think Herc will probably be back on TNAI, assuming that he's in. I think Dodoria coming back in, strong character. We know what Dodoria can do anyway. It does usually between 40 and 50k. And if they keep Ginyu in, I definitely see them being able to win. So yeah, I'm gonna go with that.
I'll throw my hat in Derp as well, because while yes, Budokai statistically should win, there's just a lot of wild factors with Derp. So present bombs, if all of a sudden they just go back to an old build and he just starts spamming present bombs, that'll change a lot. And Salza just waking up will change a lot. There's a lot that could happen here. So I'll throw my hat in with Derp, see what happens.
Alright. So we have 2-2 for our first one. Moving on, we have our first divisional of the main season for 2023. We have Royals, Cold, and with Majin Vegeta and Zarbon coming back in, if I'm correct.
Yep, that's correct. Do you want to know the?
Yeah, you want to enlighten us a little bit?
Okay, so you're all gonna boo at me for this and be unhappy, but Jace is not in actually. So Jace is out. So we've got Hal, Frieza, Cooler, and Zarbon in that order. Yeah, everyone's on their normal builds. There's no boost or anything. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
Oh,
100% Frieza as savior, obviously. Just clarify that one too.
Alright. Well, I think it's gonna be a close one, but I'm going to have to give it a little bit of the edge to Royals, because, well, you both are 2-0, obviously. I think Royals has at least had a lot more of their members consistently working, while it feels like you have been more relying on like bigger burst damage from several of your members. Not to say that no member is not going to work. Like, they might. Who knows? My vote's Royals.
Well, in my 100% unbiased, definitely not biased in any way opinion, I'm going to go with Cold. So I just, obviously, Royals are a very strong team. Part of the reason Tower's even in starting, to be honest, is because I'm a bit scared of Deborah. I don't think anyone else can really do much against. Well, not much, but they can't do as well against him. So that's why Tal's starting. I think that, I don't know. I just think it depends on matchups and whatever happens, but I don't know. I can see 100% Frieza doing a lot of damage in a lot of these matchups. Like if he goes up against Meta Cooler or King Vegeta, whoever they decide to put in, I think he could do a lot of damage. And then Cooler is Cooler, so yeah, I'm gonna place my vote in my own team.
What do you think, Tosh?
Gonna say, sorry, someone came in my room. Were you using any boost or anything like that?
No boosts, nothing, no. Do you want to know the lineup again, or did you?
Sure.
So it's Tao, Frieza, Cooler, Zarbon. No Jace.
Just because no.
That's loud.
Sorry about that. That was my phone.
Just because of no Jace, I kind of want to give it to Royals. I want Cole to win, but I feel like that spam probably would do you guys a lot better because I don't think Zarbon. I don't think I see Zarbon really holding it down with his melee.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw my hat in the Royals boat. Majin Vegeta is currently not looking very. He's kind of in form right now, and it's just that unlucky where you happen to be going up against him when he's in form. Deborah's working. Like everybody's like working on that team. It's just a hard team to deal with. I don't know. I don't see a lot of teams beating him this season, to be honest. I don't even think I'm gonna beat him. They have a lot of tools that are very good into my team and can blow up my guys real quick. So.
Royals
just
are
a straight up Royals diff.
team. I said this before. I think they could make the finals potentially again.
Yeah, it would be funny because they got to the finals for the second time with Baby Vegeta. It's just different Baby Vegeta.
Different baby.
But
Baby.
that's that 3-1 Royals.
Yep.
All right. Next up, we have our second division of the week, final division of the week, and second one of the main season. Hybrids and androids, and King Gohan's coming back in. Perfect Cell is coming back in. Ironic.
Hopefully we get that matchup. That'd be good.
Ironic. I mean, it's not going to be canon if Teen transforms because it's not going to be super perfect.
Because Cell has a ring.
But
Freaking donut.
they go for consistency, not fun. But I think, at least my honest prediction, I think Cyborg Tao is going to be benched. Yeah, he did great this week, or he did about average this week. But I think they're going to rely more on their Cell 16-17 combo with Super 17 as the closer. And hybrids, I think it's a little obvious, but I think Kid Gohan's going to be benched. So I'm going to have to give it to androids because I think their lineup of 4 is working better than that specific hybrids lineup of 4, just because I think future will be the falling part of them, but it'll be close.
I think I'm gonna give it to androids. It's hard not to see. I mean, both teams are very strong, but both are kind of coming off some weird losses. But I don't know. There's just something about that 17 build that is just infuriating to deal with, and I just don't see very often that it's not gonna fire like it did. I think 18 is just a unique scenario because she's basically the same thing. So I don't see that like misfiring a second time in a row.
I'm probably going to give it to the hybrids. I can actually see them taking it with Ultron and team, and so actually and Sword. If Sword can wake up, I don't know how he did week 1 because I know last week, week 2, I don't think he didn't do that well, right, against you guys.
He struggled pretty hard.
So he did pretty well if I recall in like preseason, and I don't remember week 1, but I know preseason he did well. If he can keep up his ult spam and everything like that, I can see him definitely holding his own and doing even more. So I can see Hybrids taking it, especially just with those 3. Even the future kind of, as long as future does a little bit and everything, I think they should be fine.
Well, I was leaning towards androids, but then I just had a thought that occurred to me because, well, it just occurred to me when I was thinking about their lineup. Cell was on Eternal Life week 1, right?
Nope.
If I'm not mistaken. No? Could have sworn he was. Let me just check. I only say that because Cell's best build, from what I remember, is on Eternal Life. And
But he could have been.
Super 17 also runs.
Oh yeah, that's right. Super 17's been the EL user.
So, no, he wasn't. Okay, they did change that.
I mean,
that's fine.
Bergstell's
Okay.
been consistently doing 40k on this build.
Yeah. Yeah, I still think I'm going to give it to hybrids, just because I think that the most dangerous threat that androids could probably do is to shut down Teen Gohan, which I think they could do if they're given the right matchup. But I also find it like I look at Cell. If Teen goes against Cell or against Super 17, especially, I think Teen will have a decent matchup. It's only if he goes up against 16 mainly and some partially 17 if he stays in his face. Otherwise, if they let Teen go off the rails, I think Teen will just smoke through them. Obviously, Alt Gohan is pretty strong as well, so he can quite easily beat down many teams. So, and like Tosh said, Sword is pretty scary for any team to go against. So if he comes in and he can ult and he can finish a few people off or tag back out, then he can be quite scary as well. It's just Future that's potentially letting hybrids down, but I feel like the rest of them can paper over the cracks. So I'm going to go with hybrids.
Alright, so that's 2-2, which makes sense. It's the divisional.
But next we have Kaiju and Boo Saga, and in my heart I want to give it to Kaiju, but
It ain't happening.
yeah, I'm going to give it to Boo Saga. Their team has just been a lot more consistent, and watch Boo come back in. Dor, do you want to say who you like benching or anything?
Let me double check. We have Evil Boo out.
Honestly, I had to bench him eventually, and
He's also the one with the worst ability to break a kaiju.
Yeah.
Vegito hits it in a couple hits. Kid Buu does it a couple hits. Buhan does it in one hit. Majin Buu has Savior, so he does it in one hit.
I'm pretty sure Kid Buu does it in one hit.
Yeah, but the thing is, his hits hit multiple times, so
Yeah.
I think
It looks like it's 2 hits, but it's 1 hit. Just like Jane.
I'll probably give it to. I'll give it to Usada and everything. Mainly because the Draconic Aura like to break their power body, and plus their burst damage is also a huge factor.
I am gonna third or fourth that now, Boo Saga. I just think that like obviously the Draconic Aura is a factor. Obviously the huge upside and burst of Boo Saga at the moment is a factor. But I just look at Kaiju at the moment and I look at how Slug's been performing and how Oob's been performing, and I just don't see them being able to like make up the damage, even with Bardock and Nappa, to overcome most teams, let alone Boo Saga, who've literally got 2 elites in 2 weeks. So yeah, I don't think so. I think it's gonna be Boo Saga.
Dor to finish it off.
I mean, do I need to say anything?
Yeah.
Obvious.
So that's 4-0 Kaiju.
I want Kaiju to win, but this matchup is highly unlikely. Possible, highly unlikely.
Next we have Namek, ED, with Icon coming back in and Mid Vegeta coming back in. I'm gonna have to say this week from Namek was a fluke, and I'm going to have to say Namek is going to take this one because just the power Pycon brings. Again, they still have Late and Nuova, and Nail and King Piccolo have been at least doing their job, so I'm going to have to give it to Namek
Not to knock ED though. So.
I'm gonna have to agree. I think I'm gonna go with Namek, which might be a bit surprising because I've praised DD a lot in pre-season stuff, but looking at their last match, Krillin did a lot of the heavy lifting. I'm not saying that everyone else on their team did terribly, but I feel like I don't know, I feel like Namek just with Pycon coming in with late Piccolo, that's a lot of power. And if whoever actually decides to do damage this time, I feel like they're onto a winning formula. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Namek.
I'm probably gonna still stick with Edie. Krillin, if he's still a melee monster, so he can still do his job there. And it really depends on what kind of mid Goku you get. Because if he can spam out of his spirit bombs, or even if he transforms, he has a blast off to do now. Well, now is what? Now I'm moderately upset. Not now I'm angry. But he can do either. He can do that, and still get some good stuff. And you can't forget N Vegeta. Still got N Vegeta there. So I can still see Edie. I can see Edie taking this.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with ED. Nothing against Namek. And I wouldn't even be surprised if Namek wins, but ED's just like looking a little too consistent right now, and with Namek not really firing on full cylinders, they got some work to do.
2-2 for Namek, or 2-2 for Namek ED. Next we have RW and Cinema.
Before we get to the prediction part of it, I will say what we're doing. We are benching Garlic Jr. We are starting Gogeta, and we're starting with a lineup of Gogeta, Jane, Turles, and Pasha, and we're also boosting 2 latent energies, one on Gogeta and one on Turles. Yeah, funny. We'd like to do. We're
Who are you
playing
against again?
RW. We are expecting a Majub start with Garlic being benched. And we know Yamcha's coming back in, so.
Ooh. I don't want to upset you, but I'm gonna go with Rez. So that's. I feel like, assuming 18 is in again, I just feel like they've got so much power at the moment. Marjube had a bad performance last week, but I would consider that a one-off. So with the power of Marjube, 18, Yamcha, from what I remember in testing, looked decent. I don't think they've benched Ata yet. They could bench him, because I know that he's kind of a bit of a problem child. So if he's benched as well, then yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna go with RW.
Even though Destiny knows what I want to say, he really does. I'm gonna actually still give it to Cinema. I feel like that lineup, especially with Garlic, being benched. Garlic can be good, but I don't know. I'm not always too fond of him. Like, I feel like the rest of your characters are a little bit more solid, and have more of a better damage output than him. So theoretically, this is your stronger lineup, and I can see y'all definitely winning that one. So depends on your momentum on it and how Gogeta actually starts it out.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be it's kind of a rough one, to be honest. It's hard to say this person's got it or this one doesn't, because both teams are pretty middle ground right now in performance. I kind of am leaning towards RW though. If 18's doing what she's doing there, it's just gonna be a very hard team for most people to beat, because just like how 17's super strong and annoying to deal with, when you got that going on, you got an android that can spam and doesn't have to spend any time charging. It's just, how do you deal with that?
Well, I'm going to have to go for my own team. Leaves us at 2-2. Going into our 7th match prediction with Muscle, Rugrats, and while I feel like Muscle could bring out a win. Actually, Coach, before I even say anything, what are you gonna do?
Cell Junior is benched. We're using fusions. We're going with the offensive Go Tank build, so attack 2, key 2. Aurelia, of course, is in the back, and GT Goku is running his attack 1 EL build on Trunks AI. So it's not Kid Trunks, GT Goku, Goten, Kid Trunks, and then Aurelia.
Oh.
No boost or anything.
I definitely think you guys will probably win this one, but I also want to preface that I wouldn't be surprised if Muscle wins, because if they have, say, 13 hitting the right people, like 13 hitting GT Goku or Goten for all we know, and at least making the fusion have less health to start off with, then it'd be really good for them. But yeah, I'm going to regret.
I mean, it really depends on, like, if they lose a bar or two, that's still not bad for Go Tanks, if you think about it, because that just means his stacks already start and is stronger when they fuse. So, I don't know.
I'm gonna go Muscle. Because we discussed this a little bit earlier before the cast, but I think if they've got King Cold in, because King Cold has a decent, well, I say decent, a very good record against Rugrats from the past few seasons. So if they have him in, they easily, well, they know a Broly build that can work if they want to go to it, and I think they probably will at this point. And I don't know, I just think 13 is looking monstrous at the moment, so they just need to figure out a couple of things, which I think, I don't think it's too difficult because they have got builds they can go back to. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Muscle.
I'm gonna go with Rugrats. I think that the struggling of Muscle might continue, and this is not a team that's going to give them any leeway.
That is, what is it, 2-2 or 3-1 Rugrats?
It's 3-1.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry, I'm losing count the longer this thing goes. Lastly, we have Sentai and GT. Sentai is bringing back in Birder, and GT is bringing back in Sin Shenron. I think this will be an interesting one, and I'm honestly going to go with GT because I think Jiro is probably going to be out, but
Wasn't he out week 1?
oh, actually, yeah.
I'm not saying they can't do that, but
They can't. Or I think one of their weaker members is going to be out. Okay, and but as we've seen from Sentai, even with like Jiren popping off the way that he did, and Saiyaman still does 40k, teams have almost come back versus that deficit. So I'm going to give it to GT, but I would not be surprised if Sentai won with Saiyaman, Jiren, and actually, I feel like they're also going to bench one of their stronger members because it's East Kai divisionals week 4. So
right,
yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. I think Sentai are gonna win. I love Jiro, don't get me wrong, but I think if he's in, it's just terrible matchups all over the place because Berta will stop him from being able to grab. 21, it's just going to spam his face off anyway and probably stop him. Well, I don't know how that works with her grabbing him, but I suppose it wouldn't work. But still,
it's the
She
same.
can grab. He can grab her.
but
She
she
can't
can't
grab
grab
him.
He can't do.
So
she can't.
she gets a bit screwed in that matchup, but I still think that Jiro will struggle against her because she has the both her B2s are like non-absorbable basically, so you can't do anything to them. If Jiren's in, Jiren can ult him, power impacts him, or rush him, all work, so you can't like absorb any of them. I don't think he can absorb anything on Sentai, so you can't do that. That's like a non-starter anyway. And then yeah, I just think that he would struggle.
He might be able to absorb the double ball that Birder does, but that's about it.
Yeah, that would literally be it. And even then, he just has a horrible matchup against Berta because of the melee. He just won't be able to do anything. So, and then like past that, I just don't think that like some of their other. I don't think Roshi would be able to do well against characters like Berta as well. I just think that Sentai is just a horrible matchup for GT. Sadly, how they are at the moment. But you never know. I could be proved wrong. So, yeah, I'm just gonna go with Sentai though.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm gonna follow with Sentai. I think it's just bad matchup for a lot of teams right now. They just have some really annoying tools, and when they're working, it's not a lot I think many teams can do about it.
I want to go GT, but I'm probably going to go Sentai.
Yeah, I'd like GT to win here. It's just it's looking a little rough for them, not gonna lie.
GT to win with a Jiro Elite, yes please.
For GT, it really is heavily dependent on how Sin and Baby do. Well, and Vegeta, of course, but that's if like they don't have anyone else to fall back on, because Panda's never coming in unless they're really desperate, and Panda's not that good either. So
And they're not that desperate right now.
exactly, it's only week 3, so yeah.
So that's 3-1 Sentai.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright. And just before we wrap this up, as you guys have probably seen already, there are new stuff to the slide. There's the power rankings below. Gonna look at them, see what changed, all that good stuff. But that we have come to the end of our Capsule cast. Thank you all for watching. Comment any improvements we can do to better the cast, or comment really anything you would like to that could be like motivational or anything. Check out the links to the Discord, website, Twitter, and the TikTok in the description below. Yeah, and with that, I have been your host, Destiny, with my co-host.
Hello, goodbye. My name's
Have a good one.
And of course,
Bye.
yeah, they have been our guests. So we'll be seeing you next time. See ya.
Bye.